Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to Emsley Lodge for another week. Yeah, interesting sort of week. Had a couple of horses race really well and probably just a bit disappointed. I had a mare called Roldana I thought it'd go really well on the week through the week, and took it to Mornington on Monday and really expected to go well. We got the races and she's heavily in season and just she half by blew the start and then over race bad and just terrible. So just draws a line straight through that one and go on to it. But she's pulled up good from it, so I'll probably take her to the races in a couple of weeks and no doubt she'll amend. I thought Bjorn Pretty went good the other day. I took it to 1.25 miles at Ballarat and she just didn't run the trip at all, so we brought her back to the mile and ironically she probably raced like a 1.25 mile horse, but had no luck in the run and Noel Callow rode her and said she should have won. He just didn't have any luck in the running at all, so yeah, make sure you follow her. She's been a little bit of a difficult sort of horse, but you know, she's going to put a couple of wins together very soon. We had Kawabata ran first up over at Sandown, first up over 1 mile, a big ask. She's sort of coming back from the Adelaide Cup over 2 mile and she had a good spell, and always query horses that come back from 2 mile how they're going to perform, but she raced over 1 mile first up, got back, ran home, really hit the line strong, so it looks like she's going to be in for a really good prep, just wrapped in the way that she still had a real good turn of foot at the end of 1 mile, especially with a horse that's coming back a lot in distance. Yeah, now runners this week, we'll kick off at Geelong on Friday. Now, Spurt will run first up. She's, it's probably going to be too short for her, but she's very fresh and very well. Because of her barrier manners, I don't tend to trial her. We just go straight to the races with her. So we've had all sorts of dramas with her in the barriers, but last prep we got 4 or 5 runs into her, and she seemed to be on top of that barrier problem. So fresh tomorrow will probably tell a fair bit, but she's in good nick. Don't be surprised if it doesn't run a really good race first up. She did that last time in, so yeah, just keen. As I said, it's going to be too short for her, but she'll be hitting the line well. I've got Royce in as well. Now he's drawn the car park there, and just looks a bit of an ugly race. There's a few inside that'll boot up and hold him out, and he could end up having a really bad run. So I'll just toss up. I'll speak to the owners, and we'll just toss up whether we actually go there. If we don't, we'll find a race for him somewhere next week. But he certainly seems to be going okay. We then won't probably have much until next Wednesday at Bendigo, where I'll take GG Girl. She drew the car park the other day at Sandown. We scratched her because of that. Horse seems in pretty good nick, so she will go to Bendigo on Wednesday in a mare's race. And you know, she's just screaming to get back to the races. She's very well, that mare. So yeah, make sure you keep an eye on GG Girl next Wednesday at Bendigo.
Hi guys, so on the weekend just gone, I went to Hamilton on the Sunday for 3 rides. The highlight there was Esprit Royale running a really nice fourth first up. Let him up and actually looked like he was going to win at some stage there, but just in the last 200 fitness told a little, but it was a really good run first up, and hopefully I can stick with him. As for the week ahead, I've got 2 rides at Geelong tomorrow. One's Perceptionist of Chris Calthorpe, a horse that I've run second on before. She's going to be at big odds, but I think she's going to run a really nice race. She's been relaxing really well in her work. And I'm down to ride Royce tomorrow for the boss, of course, but not 100% sure if he'll go or not. He is drawn pretty wide there. If I do manage to pick up any more rides, you can have a look in the acceptances and see what I'm on. That's all from me this week. Hopefully I've got a winner or 2 next week to report to you.
Yeah, that's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. Interesting thing this week. They've brought out a lot of new conditions with apprentices, and I always like having a good apprentice in the stable, and we've been quite lucky that I've had quite a few successful apprentices. They're raising the age to 16, from 15 to 16 for apprentices, which is an interesting thing. The other thing I thought was a really interesting thing was that they're not allowed to have a manager until they have ridden 20 winners. Now, the hardest time of a kid's career is to actually get rides early in their career, and you know, managers just sit on the phone and you know, ring and ring and ring for these kids to get rides, and they're going to stop that. So I know when Georgie was here, and so was Josh, that their manager Ron Kavanagh, who now manages Trent, did a great job in just getting them rides in early part of their career. So it's something that's going to be really interesting. It's certainly going to stop a lot of kids going to big stables where they don't get the boss doesn't give them all that many rides. Country stables is pretty good, but they normally support their apprentices. But I thought that was a really interesting thing. Till next week, see you later. Filly here, filly called Truthfully. As you start again.
Right.
You got to press play.
Done. It's already done.
I don't know, is that it?